So today, on Halloween of 2025, Canva and Affinity have released their new fully free software, the new Affinity. It's completely free outside of some AI features being paywalled from Canva. This is great, right? I'm skeptical. What's there to be skeptical about? It's free, it's updated, it's got AI. It should be the perfect all-in-one use tool. Well, I don't want to overreact too soon, but yeah, I'm upset about this. Canva bought Serif last year in March of 2024 for $380 million, which means they've been building this software over the last year and a half. It seems like it might be a nice upgrade, so why am I upset about it? The track record of fully free softwares aren't great. Most of Affinity's fan base came here for a one-time purchase experience to escape Adobe's grasp of monthly and yearly subscriptions, which I have talked about that before in this video right here. So while this software is free right now and it's promised to stay that way forever, I doubt it. Companies always want more money, and if they aren't making enough from Canva subscriptions, I can see a world where they paywall certain features. It's almost a tale as old as time. At this point, something is free, it gets too big for its own good, and gets worse over time as they start removing or paywalling features that were once free. That's the biggest concern I have. Next is the AI. Everybody wants AI in everything. At least companies and shareholders and market investors, whatever. They want to use it as a marketing tool. So Canva is offering things like generative fill, background removal, and image generation, along with a couple other tools as well. It's been said enough, but let me reiterate this, that AI is not an upgrade. Now, I know most graphic designers and casual users of these softwares won't see it that way. It saves them time. It saves them energy from having to use their brain. It is easy. I mean, it's cool. I can admit that. Me a couple years ago would have loved something like this. I just wish that there wasn't such a huge cost that came with it, which is an energy consumption. But again, it takes away from the human aspect of creativity. AI ruins creativity. If you have an idea, do it yourself. If you don't know how to do it, learn it. Why build it off the backs of other artists? Because AI, or most AI, is an LLM, which is a large language model. These models are trained off of what's uploaded to the internet. So essentially what AI features do is mismatching a bunch of images from the internet to create what we know is a perfume bottle, like we can see on the new website. I know Affinity V2 has updated with the auto background removal feature, which is AI or generative powered. But again, that's just a single feature, which can be completed with other tools like the magic wand. Granted, it's not as accurate. It is just a little disheartening to see the full switch to these tools, but what else is to be expected by now? People want shortcuts, so companies provide them. I haven't used the new Affinity, so how can I judge it without giving it a proper test? Well, let's do that. Let's compare my workflow from V2 to this new free version. I mostly use Photo, which is the Photoshop equivalent, so I'm going to make the same design in both programs, kind of similar to how Elliot is a cool guy. We'll test multiple photo editing programs if you've seen any of his videos. Let's start in Serif's Affinity V2, then we'll switch over to the new Canva plus Affinity. This is Script Writing Mason right now. I just woke up Halloween morning and saw some videos about the new update, so I started writing this script. So this is pretty much all new to me. I deadass don't want to do this, but it's not fair to judge it so harshly without testing it. So although I'm skeptical, let's give it a proper test of how I typically would use Affinity's programs and compare and contrast so I can have an argumentative video with backing to show that I actually tried it. So here I am in Affinity V2. I'm using my normal workflow. I didn't design this beforehand, so it was kind of just whatever I thought of. It took me about 30-35 minutes to do, and this is the finished product. And let's head over to the new Affinity. right, here we are in the new Affinity. I'm going to slow this design down, even though I'm pretty much remaking or making a version of the same thing that I just made. I do still want to slow it down and kind of go through first thoughts of things I'm seeing as I see them in the moments. Obviously, looking at the interface, the UI is slightly different, which to be expected. It does look like they kind of, okay, they added. It's interesting too. Some things are in different spots. Because, yeah, I mean, I don't love that the color picker's at the bottom, but obviously, if you know keyboard shortcuts, it's not a huge deal. Let's see. So we've got Pixel. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. So, one thing that they're trying to do in the new Affinity outside of Serif's versions of Affinity is they want it to be an all-in-one. So whereas with the older versions, it's set up into 3 separate programs, right? You have like your publisher equivalent, Illustrator, and Photo, essentially. So this is interesting. It's pretty much just like workspaces, I guess, but they've called it studios here. So Vector Studio for graphic design and illustration, Vector Design, Pixel Studio. Okay, so digital art. Okay, so this is a different layout as well. And Layout Studio. Okay, interesting. And then the Canva AI Studio. They have, so I don't fully know everything that is included in their AI premium whatever workspace. So let's kind of go through what they have. So you have your object selection. That's already in Affinity Photo V2, one of the newer updates or the last updates. So generative expand, yeah, increase the size of your composition. There you go. Generative fill, okay. Generative edit, what does that say? To any element, okay. Portrait blur. Interesting, they have a portrait blur tool when you can do that really easily. If you have a subject, cut out your subject and then blur the background. Interesting that they have a whole tool for that. Portrait lighting, okay. There are lighting tools in photo as well, but okay. Colorize, okay, that's interesting. Turn black and white pictures into color. Increase resolution. It's like sample depth. Okay. Now again, I may have already said this. Okay, and then they have generation prompts over here, image vector, whatever. Yeah, I think I may have mentioned this in the video earlier, but yeah, me a couple years ago would have loved these features because it was new, didn't necessarily know the risks that came with it, whereas now there's a big divide, I feel like, with AI of people that use it religiously and they love it, and then you have the other side of that where people are trying to fight back. It's harmful to the environment, uses a ton of energy, and you have these two sides fighting. Not entirely sure that there's a good middle ground of this because again, it's if you're using it, you can use it without supporting it, but using it technically is supporting it because of you're still affecting whatever it is you're affecting, whether it be energy, water, whatever. So yeah, AI, you either love it or you hate it. I feel like there's not really a great middle ground. I could live without the AI, and if you get the free version, you have to live without it unless you want to get the subscription, I believe, which since I have the older versions of Affinity, I get this included, even though I'm not going to use it. Man. See, this is the dilemma I have making this video of, am I giving it a fair shot if I'm not using that because of how it's marketed? I mean, that's a big part of the marketing is that there's AI. I almost feel inclined to use it in a way just to give it a fair test run. I don't know. Anyways, they have a cat tool. Interesting. You can make cats. Okay. I like that. Something different. Anyways, let's just let's get started. You can do a hatch pattern. Interesting. Okay. Find this hatch pattern idea interesting. Not sure how to use that right now, but seems interesting. Also, I'm going to stick obviously you can switch between vector and pixel. I'm going to stay in vector as of now, and if when I have to add my picture, I might have to use pixel, but I'm going to stay in vector for now, see how it treats me. Okay, and the align is pretty much the same, at least it seems that way. Keyboard shortcuts seem the same as well. And in this, it actually does snap to the middle. Very nice. And again, I am kind of eyeballing these colors because I didn't save. I don't have the colors that I'm using saved, so they might be slightly different. If you see something I do and you're like, man, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, I'm a graphic designer by hobby. This isn't like a job or something I do full time. Like, I do this a couple hours a week, and with that time, you only learn so much. So some things I might do differently than you. That's how it's gonna be, okay? And obviously, I think part of this video is that there probably isn't going to be a ton of differences just based off the fact that it is essentially an upgraded version, or presumably upgraded version, of what I'm already using. So there may not be a ton of differences. That's the point of doing this. All right, how does that look? Not bad. Cool. Okay, and it seems like just dragging and dropping, per usual, works perfectly fine. Now, I know this doesn't look great now, but I will make it work, don't worry. Okay, done a little bit of brute forcing. I still look like shit. All right, let's get some more text in here. I think the text I was using for this was Recoleta. There it is. Now, for the background, I took my pre-existing logo I have. I slapped one in the corner, right there. And for the other one, I just upscaled it. Similar to, kind of like that. Slap it in the back. Give it a color overlay. Turn the opacity down. And then I went ahead and blurred it as well. Give it a good old Gaussian blur. About 20 pixels, I think, is what I did. Okay. Now that I'm looking at it, I definitely did not use Recoleta. Let's figure out what we're doing here. This is perfectly vintages, I believe. There we go. Hey, boom. Got that in. I don't like how the text boxes have lines around them. I don't know. That's being nitpicky. I just don't like it because it kind of takes away from seeing the thing as a whole. Maybe that's just me. I think that's about it. I actually do think I want to differentiate this one from the old one. Since the new logo is green, we'll have it be kind of that light green color. It's Halloweenish, right? Let's make this a darker green, actually. And there we go. And yeah, I did something a little different. Added kind of a drop shadow. It's a little intense. And kind of had them overlapping. Give it a little bit more depth. And maybe instead of not for resale, we'll have the new Affinity up there. Boom. That way, I at least know what I made it on. There might be some, cat tool, that's cool. There might be some quality of life thing I'm not seeing out of this. I typically don't have to go out of photo to do any of this. Now, I know there are some cool things I want to mention. One of the cool things that has kind of been thrown around that I've seen so far this morning is the raster to vector. So pretty much any rasterized image can become a vector. If you don't know what vectors are, it's what makes the world go round. Vectors are pretty much what every logo is formatted into because you can scale it up and down and it will mathematically stay the same. Whereas with like a PNG, if you upscale it or downscale it, the quality is going to change. Vectors, the quality stays the same no matter what. So that's pretty cool that you can turn a rasterized image into a vector and it seemingly works fairly well. I think that's cool. I think it's a cool idea to have all three in the same program. I don't personally have the need to use all three, but I think it's cool that you can if you want to use that option. I see what looks like maybe a new tool, the Shape Builder tool. Again, my Affinity knowledge only goes so far. As for all the AI stuff, seems cool. I'm not going to use it in this video, but if you guys want a follow-up video to this, I can test them out and kind of see what they're about. I'm just not too interested in it at this moment. If that's something you guys want to see, sure, I'll test it. But yeah, I mean, it seems like it's kind of the same thing, but a little better. And this is the finished outcome, pretty much the same. So what's the verdict? Outside of a new 3-in-1 app, which is a first, I believe, it's neat. There's a problem with it being 3-in-1 though, as cool as it is. Each station will have separate keyboard shortcuts and menus, which might be a downside to this model. These were meant to be built as 3 separate apps, so I'm curious to see what gets cut now that it's being trimmed into one app. There's also a raster to vector conversion, which could be incredible. That would be awesome. A cat-shaped tool, which, I mean, look at it. It is what it sounds like. I mentioned it in the live recording earlier, but there are boxes outside of my frame text, which I don't remember being in Photo V2. It's not that bad, just very annoying because it does block some of the view. That feels slightly faster, but some features are still slower, so it kind of evens out. It might have been slightly improved performance-wise, but it's minimal if it has. There also seems to be a lot of debate about the AI usage in the app, mainly with the privacy and data part of it. Canva is saying right now that it won't use your worker data for the new AI features, and let's hope it stays that way. If not, I assume backlash would come very swiftly for them. All in all, I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but it still seems pushed towards that AI market, which is fine, just not my cup of tea. Realistically, if you're using the older versions and you don't see use in the new program, just keep using those. It seems exactly the same, I mean, as it should, just with a couple new levers and buttons. If this stays free, I can see it being a great tool for the community for years to come. If not, then it's another program that will get lost in the sea of AI and paywalls. It's probably not a bad idea, though, to keep an open eye over the coming months or years for hints of paywalls going up. As to me, this seems like the bait to get you in the door. Once you've used it and gotten used to it for a while and it's free, that's when they try to pull you into paying for their subscriptions. Anyways, here's a couple of posts I've seen on Affinity's website that I kind of want to comment on, just to show you how split the community is. Tears on anger and disgust running down my cheek. Every damn time there's something good or great, an evil corporation buys and destroys it. I would rather pay $1,000 for a proper V3 than whatever this freemium shit is. How are corporate acquisitions even legal? Has this ever resulted in something good? Literally sucked the life force out of me once I learned that it's quote-unquote free. Yeah, sure. Once the AI bubble pops, it will surely remain that way. They're not even selling the V2 anymore. Fuck Canva, fuck AI, fuck capitalism, and fuck every single Gasly manager that's behind them. Also, their new logogram is horrible. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I told you somebody didn't like the new logo. But yeah, while I can agree with some of this anger, I think some of this might just be overcompensation for other world problems going on right now, we'll say. But yes, I agree. I think Affinity would be better in Serif's hands rather than Canva's. This is just how the world works, and we can't stop it. I really would love a V3 as well, but that's just not going to happen. However, I think this next comment sums it up really better than I could. I have no faith in this. I think putting them together is a great idea, but the fact it's now free means that the software I've adored and used for years is no longer that product. I just tried it, the UI is slightly different, but it's clear they're reusing a lot of the codebase of V2. Some parts seems a little sluggish, but other parts feel quicker, so maybe just placebo. There's actually a couple new features I've spotted so far, but nothing drastic. Gradient fill seems to have a hatch pattern now, and there's also a dedicated button for a transparent gradient. There's a dedicated cat tool under shapes, which is exactly what you suspect. Some obvious quirks of having the 3-in-1, it means I get some of the more powerful tools altogether, like on frame text tool. I can easily break the same text box out into multiple columns, which I believe you had to switch to publisher to get the same ease. I suspect new features and tools will be selectively locked behind Canva Pro. There's a Canva AI persona mode at the top by default, and if you try to use it, you get a big upgrade your Canva banner. While that's fine for AI tools, if they announce freeform point gradients and put it behind a paywall, I'm going to scream. So, similar to me in my situation, they have little faith, but they still tried it. But they worded some of my frustrations greatly, honestly. That I love the older softwares, but they're no longer that product. While yes, the older products are the same, they will stay that way forever because of this transition. And all we have now is a Canva-fied coat of paint on a great and promising application. There's slight optimism, but not overexcitement of losing something they loved. So I'm in agreement with this person. New tools will roll out with paywalls. I'm just skeptical of it staying free forever. At least certain features will come out and will be locked. I still love the older programs, but I think I'm going to continue testing the new app to see what improvements have truly been made. I don't feel as bad about it as I did the other morning when I first found out this news, but I still feel uncertain and distrusting in a way. I've seen echo chambers throughout the community of promoted, or I'm assuming promoted YouTube videos praising the new Affinity. So I kind of wanted to throw my opinion out there, as this is more on the negative or skeptical side, especially because that way you can get both sides of the story. It seems like some of the community loves it, some of the community hates it. I'm still mixed as of now, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. I just wanted to make this video because, yeah, like I said, seeing a lot of positive things on YouTube, but if you go in any of Affinity's forums or community posts, it seems like there's a lot of distaste for this move in the community. So kind of an odd in between. YouTube seems like people are loving it. Forums seems like people are hating it. So I just have to assume that these people are getting paid to love it. Not saying they are, but not seeing a lot of middle ground on YouTube. And I just kind of wanted to provide a little bit of insight from somebody in the community that is a little upset about this. But yeah, anyways, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the acquisition and the new Affinity. If you love it, if you hate it. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, maybe subscribe if you're new here. And yeah, bye-bye.
Oh.